it's really cool to just see people kind of transform and change over the years, and also to remember like we're not going to be the same through the decades of our life, but I believe as long as we're teaching and doing what we want to do with integrity, to me that's really beautiful. So thank you, everyone. I want to move on to these questions I have. And if any of you here have questions, either raise your hand or put the questions in the chat. Allison's moving her dancing figure on the fridge to a handstand. I love it. So the first question I got is, someone said they feel like they're hitting a plateau in their practice and it's frustrating and kind of what to do. So they're not here for me to ask, but if you've ever felt that way, I ask you to consider like, what is a plateau to you? What does that feel like? And for me, a plateau feels like when I'm like maybe a little bored in my practice, like I sit down on my mat and it's harder for me to engage. And another thing that a plateau can be is when we feel like we're not improving in our poses. So I think the important thing when we feel kind of bored or disengaged is to kind of just leave space for that. We're not going to feel 100% engaged every practice, but if we can just be on our mat and do our best, we likely will still get a lot out of it. Then the other thing with when you feel like you're not physically progressing, I think when we're new to yoga or when we start something new, we get things really quickly because it's all these new moves and brand new ideas, and we can feel really successful. So for me, there's been a lot of times where like for a while, I'll feel like I'm learning and doing new things, and then I'll just kind of have to stick with things. So for the person who felt like they hit a plateau, if any of you have felt that way, Allison, that's a nice move there. I encourage you to just keep getting on your mat, because sometimes when we're bored, we like kind of start thinking, oh, maybe I want to do other things, and it's fine to also do other things, but I definitely recommend you to stick with it, because consistency over like many years and being on the mat over many years really changes things.